Hi guys, hope you enjoyed a couple extra days off. Just wanted to cover a couple things. First of all, when we have these snow days and these short weeks, students tend to get really unmotivated very quickly because they're like, oh, I can't get anything done. I only have 3 days. But don't let them do that because the deadlines don't change. The final dates don't change. So their timeline really still needs to remain the same. So they just need to push themselves a little bit more on those times. And obviously, I mean, some adjustments might have to be made because they can't do it. But the big thing is be lenient if you need to be, but don't be so lenient that they think they can sit and waste a whole week. All right, because they already missed 2 days and they don't need to get anything done. Just don't let them do that. They still need to meet with their mentor. They still need to try to get their timeline, a weekly goal accomplished for this week. The second thing is I've seen a couple um, timelines that say work on my midterm presentation this week and next week. There is no need to be working on those yet. They're not till the 1st of March. It should only take them a couple days to put that together. They've got to be getting their project done and meeting their competencies. And then that presentation will be really easy because that's all it is just sharing where they are in their project, how much they've got done, what they still have yet to accomplish. So if they've got nothing done, it is hard to do a presentation because you've got to come up with a whole bunch of BS to put into your presentation. If they have things done, the presentation's easy. So encourage them to be working on their project, not on their presentation at this time. It's too early for that. Third thing, I also saw a competency contract this week that had my name written next to a competency that I had never seen. And this was from somebody who was on quarantine who never came back and actually had them physically signed. So make sure that happens if you have somebody in your group that they had to do virtual signing, that they come back in and they actually get those signed. We will not accept those at the end if they are not actual signatures of a competency contract. So make sure that happens. And then one last thing, I talked with Bobby a little bit this week about trying to make some accommodations for students who are in SPED as it relates to PBL and Explore. And one of the things we talked about is not docking their weekly progress if they're not meeting their timeline, as long as they're actually working. So don't give it to them just because they're SPED and they don't have to do any work. That is not the idea. They still should be working, but sometimes their timelines are not good because they don't understand the process of planning out the project. So use it more as oh, they're working really great this week, and then talk through it with them and say, okay, so how come this doesn't match your timeline? And they go, well, I couldn't do my timeline because I didn't have this done or whatever. So help them think through the process of making that timeline of what needs to be done in what order and getting things accomplished. But let's not dock them as long as they are working and working well just because they didn't meet it. And this is for SPED kids. And I'm not saying that to let them off the hook because that's not the point. I think the problem is sometimes the SPED kids struggle with breaking the project down into weekly steps, and sometimes our non-SPED kids have trouble with that. So the more you can be involved in that process and helping them break that down, so that they can be successful, the better. And then when they don't do that successfully, don't dock their grade for it as long as they're actually working. Okay, just use it as an opportunity to rethink that process with them. So, for example, I had a kid this week, a SPED kid, that had written for his weekly goal that he was going to finish his website this week. And there's no way he didn't understand the concept of how much information has to be on there. There's no way he's going to finish his website this week. He needs about 3 weeks to do that. So as long as he's working, I'm not docking him because he didn't meet his weekly goal. What we went in and did was changed his timeline and updated it and worked through it. And now that he sees himself working on it, he understands he's not going to get it done in a week. So just things like that. Make sure that is happening. And if you have questions on that, you can talk to me, or if you want to talk to Bobby on that, that's great. Hopefully, other than that, our SPED kids are doing pretty good and you're working with them and encouraging them to keep moving forward. So, and true with all of our students. So hopefully we're doing well. Let me know if you have questions or concerns. I'm definitely available to help. Good luck, guys.